Okay, so according to the Kevin Patro, who is around the NFL writer for NFL.com, the San Francisco 49ers will be playing their next two home games at Week 13 and Week 14. Week 13 versus the Bills, Week 14 versus the football team at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Now, obviously, State Farm Stadium is the home of the Arizona Cardinals, and the current home for the 49ers is Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Now, this comes to news due to Santa Clara County releasing the new COVID-19 restrictions that ban all contact sports and mandate a 14-day quarantine for anyone traveling into the area from 150 miles away. With that said, the 49ers did not address the plans for Week 17 game on January 3rd against their division rival in the Seahawks, who are currently scheduled to be playing at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, and it is unclear where the 49ers will be practicing during the county ban. And this is the statement that was read. The San Francisco 49ers have come to an agreement with the National Football League and the Arizona Cardinals, which allow the 49ers to host their Week 13 and 14 games against the Buffalo Bills and the Washington football team at State Farm Stadium in Arizona. The Cardinals organization, State Farm Stadium, and league officials have been supportive and accommodating as we work through the many logistical issues involved in relocating NFL games. Information regarding the 49ers' future practice arrangements will be shared at the appropriate time. So Mario, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's tough for these players and these coaches, man, especially everybody who works for the San Francisco 49ers, because I mean, obviously when you play for a place or you work for a team like that, you obviously move close to that area. So like you said, Santa Clara, a lot of people are near that area so they can get to and from practice. And now because for the last 2 weeks, they're not going to be in that area. That's going to be tough. That's tough. So I can understand that struggle, but I can also understand that it's something that has to be done.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if that's what the state decides to put restrictions, then that's what they're going to have to do. You know, they're going to have to respect it, even though they don't want to do it. They're going to probably have to respect it. I mean, obviously they don't want to go from California to Arizona. That's probably something they don't want to do neither for 2 weeks. Nobody wants to be away from their families for 2 weeks and their homes.
Shanahan wasn't happy about it.
Right. Especially for that long, you know, because it's not like you have 2 away games. It's not like you have an away game, then you go back home, and then you go back to the other place that you were supposed to be away. It's not how it works. You're gonna be away for 2 straight weeks, and that's probably gonna take a toll, especially if for some reason, like if some way that the Niners make the playoffs, so they make that 7th seed. It's definitely going to be a problem because then it's going to be even longer time away from them. So I can understand how this can be a struggle, but at the same time, you know, when in times like this, restrictions like these are going to have to be done. And so with that being said, I mean, it's something that they don't want to do, but it's something that they're probably going to have to respect.
Right, and I give a lot of respect to the Arizona Cardinals for that. The San Francisco 49ers obviously are their division rivals, and I'm glad they realize that it's much more than just football. Everybody's got to be standing with each other. We're all going to be united. It's
agree.
It's one thing that it's one thing that your division rivals on the football field, but off the field, it's all about respect, and that's what's being shown here. And the fact that they're letting them use their home for a couple of games until this all gets sorted out. No, it really goes to show that it's just more than football. It's more than just football. You know what I mean? And much respect to everybody that works at the Arizona Cardinals front office. Much respect to them for even making this possible and letting them even have a home.
Right, and even the fact that it's an area that they're not like they're a little more familiar with than other areas, you know, like because obviously they're division rivals and obviously they play each other 2 times a year, so they're obviously more familiar with that stadium than a lot of others in the NFL. Besides, there are obviously their other division rivals. So I mean, I got to give respect to the Arizona Cardinals for doing that, show courtesy, and I mean it's tough for the Niners, but again, it's something that's going to have to be done
for the safety of everybody. But I mean, we're gonna see how it's going to turn out. Of course, we wish everybody the best of luck through these hard times and just push through. It's really the best you can do.